I'm Harry.
In Spanish, I am El Grande Ricardo. In English, it's Big Rich.
Big Rich.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Dead Decks again.
Yeah or not? Dead Decks. Yeah, buddy. All right, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. This is our 500th video. It just feels like 500, yeah.
Because you all hate watching them.
Yeah, but we love making them, so.
Yeah, we're gonna keep talking to this fucking camera.
Yeah, and we're gonna wait down to 10 views a video. We're getting really close.
Yeah. We keep working this hard. We might have no views soon.
Here's hoping.
No, because then I'll watch it 5 times.
Yeah, well.
Fuck it up for everybody.
Yeah.
What the hell? You're about to say that, aren't you?
What is
You say it then.
Well, shit. All right. What are we talking about today?
What makes a collectible or trading card game?
What does indeed?
What are the components of the definition? Oh.
Yeah, and some of these probably more subjective, but we tried to come up with a semi-concrete list of things that we think are required to classify it as a CCG/TCG, whatever the fuck you want to call that.
Yeah.
We'll just say CCG from here on out because I'm not doing that shit over and over again. Whoa, things are going on around us.
I don't know what the hell's happening.
Abu Dhabi is under attack.
I really like it here in Abu Dhabi.
It's warm.
It's nice.
All year round.
Yep. I like swamp ass. Mm-hmm. Makes you feel at home.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah. So comedians say fire is a dry heat. So we'll start with the first one, the most obvious, all-encompassing one. It's a game played with cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be that.
Yep. Primarily played with cards.
Yeah.
You can have a board. I don't give a fuck about a board. Or some other kind of prop you have. That's fine, but it needs to be centralized around the cards.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the components. It needs to be primary. I don't know how you define that, but it's trying to cut out things like where there's miniatures, but there's also cards. And really the miniatures are the pieces you move and focus on and the cards are just kind of there.
Yeah. And some of the things we'll get into here in a minute, like Mage Knight would have qualities that you could call it a collectible card game, except the card part.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Well, Warhammer's. I don't think Warhammer's that way.
No, they don't have pieces.
Yeah. They have pieces, but it's all, I don't think it's a randomized shit.
There's other ones. I got something here that I thought was a straight up CCG, and it's not because it's made to go with.
Yeah.
They do have randomly distributed cards, but it goes with the miniatures game. So.
Yeah. So.
And I just thought of something that's on our list.
Well, say it right now.
Just change the script before I forget it. This is a weird, so I don't know how to formulate this, but
try your hardest.
The geospatial component matters. So I think some people define it as if it matters where your cards are and they move like a board game or a war game, miniatures game. If it matters in relation to where it's actually at in comparison to other cards, and it's not. Some people don't call that a trading card game. I have seen people use that definition. Yeah. I don't think that's part of mine. I don't know that I care.
I don't know that I would care either.
But if you get into doing like some Warhammer shit where you're measuring the distance, I don't know if I consider that.
Yeah.
That's getting too far.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You might still call it collectible, I guess. And I have cards and it might be a game, but I don't think you put it all together.
Yeah, that doesn't fit what I have in my head.
Yeah.
But we're just proving how subjective the whole damn thing is anyway.
Yeah. And it's been tested a lot throughout the years. We'll show a couple examples here after a while, but
yeah. One of the things I had props, motherfucker.
Well, we'll see Richard later.
Hey, keep talking.
We throw shit in the floor. He's got to go pick it up, and we're not going to cut that out.
No,
that's funny. It's probably going to be loud. So
I still have props. Yeah.
Apologies for that, rolling chair.
Don't apologize.
Okay, well, fuck all y'all then. I'm glad you got to hear that.
So, cards, the card part. You could go as far as to say size, of course, is pretty common. You could even say material. I mean, if I made them out of toilet paper and call it a card because it's in the same shape as a poker card, that's not really a card. You've got to factor in material at some point.
Yeah, the cardstock feel, thickness is relatively the same on most of these card games. Some have a more plastic coating, kind of like a playing card, but most have a matte finish. Or
Yeah.
and you have this.
Here's an example. Hecatomb.
Yeah.
Is that a card? I mean, no. I wouldn't call it a card.
No.
If I were to see that out of context, it's plastic. It's some geometrical shape. I failed geometry.
Pentagon.
Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't call it a card.
No,
by
it's
any
oversized. It's oddly shaped. It's clear. It's plastic. It's everything that what I would consider a card is not.
Yeah, here's one I love. I love this game. I love the looks of it anyway. Serpent's Tongue, but this thing's humongous.
Yeah.
If I saw that, would I say that's a trading card? No. No, I think of trading cards literally as you're sitting with your friends trading, and these are so damn cumbersome.
Yeah, you're not trading those around with your other cards.
No.
And I'll just mention this real quick. Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't realize this till here recently that Yu-Gi-Oh! Card size is smaller than every other standard size card. I wasn't aware of that, and it's kind of annoying because once again, you have a whole bunch of cards, and then you have these little tiny Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards.
Yeah, I didn't know they were that small.
Well, I mean, they're not that small, but they're smaller than a normal card.
Yeah, so I guess to sum that up, size matters.
Size matters.
And material matters. I mean, at some point you'd have to say, okay, that's no longer a card. Just because it's rectangular and in a pack, you can't make it out of glass and call it a card.
Yeah, or our off-camera discussion about making it out of concrete.
Yeah, can't make it out of concrete.
Yeah, you can make it the same size, same thickness, but okay. I mean, I picked up this. Yeah, it's kind of off topic, but I bought some sports cards at a yard sale not too long ago, and they're made out of porcelain.
Porcelain.
Exact same size as a card. They're actually licensed by Topps from cards from the 50s and 60s, but I wouldn't call that trading cards or sports cards. It's not very common, and it's obvious why they didn't last very long or it wasn't done often because extremely fragile.
Yeah, you might have only two left.
Yeah. So yeah, you can. Back to the point, you can make something out of any material you want and call it whatever the fuck you want. I guess. I mean that's the way of 2021, isn't it?
Yeah, and definitely marketing. Some people factor that into their definition. What do they call it? I don't. I'm inclined to say, if it doesn't fit into their definitions, I don't care if they call it a customizable card name. But if it does fit the definitions and they still don't, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I'd probably still ignore it and say I just stick with our rules.
Yeah.
So another one. At least some of the cards need to be randomly distributed.
I mean that's a big one.
Yeah.
I don't know what Richard's opinion on that is, but if you don't have rarity levels, say if it's all commons, then it takes out the collectability part to me. You can still collect them, but why would you want to? There's no monetary value. And if everything's the same power level, because generally your more rare cards have higher power levels. If everything's the same power level, then again you just kind of muddle it down to where nobody cares.
Yeah. And the trading card component.
Yeah.
I would
Why would you trade?
Yeah. If everything's fixed, there's no tradability.
Or even if it's random, you have 400 commons, and you get random commons, but they're all commons, then...
Yeah. Is that really tradable? I mean,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. You see where we're going.
You can make you can make commons more rare than other commons, but here we go,
Then you've made rarity.
Exactly. So, I think rarity is to me, it's a staple of a collectible card game.
Yeah.
It's got to be there.
One of them that I'm a little torn on, but I guess makes sense. Being able to customize your deck, personalize the deck. So
Fuck you, Keyforge.
yeah, it definitely cuts out Keyforge and any other fixed deck content.
Yeah.
The reason I'm torn is for some games I like and kind of would include, but like the RPG kind of games where you're doing shared decks, you're not making your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is a big part of it. That probably does need to be included in the definition.
Yeah, to me, it's where you lose collectability. So, and you can't really trade them either. So now you're just having a card game. And
Yeah.
you can make as Keyforge has done. You can just by sheer randomness make them more rare, but you still don't really have a tradability factor there. Who's going to trade a good deck for a shitty deck? Nobody. I'll give you one good deck for 25 shitty decks. Well, who the fuck wants to do that?
I don't know, my baseball card career. I trade nothing but good cards for shitty ones.
Shit.
I was horrific.
Trade your Mickey
Worst
Mantles
trade
off
ever.
for Daryl Strawberries.
Shirtless Jose Canseco.
I did do steroids, you know. So.
Yeah, you could tell. Rock that no shirt. The Dream Team, right? Is that what those cards are called?
Yeah, I think it was, 90 score, 90, 91
dreamy.
score. Yeah.
All right, so I think those are the... No, there's one more primary component. I would make an argument for this being included, but it is a bit subjective. Cards are the primary component to the game. Did we say that?
I think we kind of rolled that in.
We did say that. Forget I just said that.
Yeah, I think we kind of rolled that into the top one we were talking about.
Yeah.
The game was played with cards, but yeah, we said we could do boards and maps and other shit, but yeah.
Here's the part where we can insert the fact that at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Play with whatever the fuck you want. That's what we're gonna do. But
we or you can call it whatever the fuck you want, and you can determine the definition yourself, or whatever. Most of what we deal with, we call CCG, whether it truly is or not. This is a good example. Baitmaster. I mean, a lot of people, including the Bible, wouldn't call that a CCG. I still do. This is a general term.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it fits any or all these criterias, but works for me. Good enough.
Yeah. So some other ones quick. We're 11 minutes. Everybody's asleep.
And gone.
Ain't going. Asleep and not have this on.
Yeah.
So some things you could do optionally that we don't care to put in our definition is whether or not it has starters and boosters. That's being a little too strict in my estimation. Whether or not it has turns. I mean, almost all of them do.
Yeah.
Things that market themselves as this. But, I mean, what's the alternative real time? And that's really rare.
Yeah, well, hockey playoff is one of those, it's, borderline turnless. It's not quite turnless, but it just depends on what's happening in the...
Yeah, I can see it blurs the line because the turns shift back and forth so quickly.
Yeah. Or you continue until you don't have offense anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And then whether or not there's a role, so like a Dungeon Master or something else.
Baitmaster, again, I just mentioned a second ago, falls into that. Dragonstorm, we'll mention at some point. And there's a few others out there, too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a non-DM type scenario, but as a general rule, you would both be, a player, and you're both competing. You wouldn't have a role in the game. You do some certain thing with a certain deck, and I do another certain thing.
Yeah.
That's another one you could make a rule, but I don't know. But in general, these go with everything else, that the edges are always going to be fuzzy, and who gives a shit? If people sit around and argue about that, you're dumb. You need something else to do.
Yeah, get the fuck off the internet.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, get a real hobby. Fuck anything.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. Mine's a lot worse than yours. I mean, we were talking about sports earlier. It's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Is poker a sport? Is fucking, I don't know, foosball a sport? Ping pong? Is collectible card games a sport? Who gives a shit?
Yeah. It's making YouTube videos a sport. We're competing with not very many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, competing's a strong word here.
Sitting on my fat ass a sport? I might be fucking grand champion.
We're coming for you, Mr. Beast.
Yep. We saying all this, we really don't give a shit. At the end of the day.
Yeah, it's 12 minutes long. Nope, 14 minutes of us saying we don't give a shit at the end of it, because it's at the very end of it, it's all subjective. So you decide what the fuck you want to do.
Yep. All right. Well, how we do then?
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, buddy.